George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
Hi everyone. It's a pretty sad commentary, but we are getting a lot of attention drawn, I think, in a bad light to our police and our law enforcement people across the country. But there are mortgage police, and today we're going to be talking about good cops and bad cops in thecreditjungle.com. This is George Anderson. Thanks for dropping in today. And it doesn't happen too often, but every now and then I'll get some probably excessively worried or paranoid borrower that, whether I'm talking to them on the phone or they come in to meet with me and they're just kind of kicking the tires and trying to find out if they can qualify for a loan. And 9 times out of 10, okay, these are people that pay their bills on time, they have a good job, and they've saved a little bit of money for a down payment, and they feel like they can afford a house and they want to buy a house. But for some reason, they feel that the system, is somehow against them. And a lot of people perceive the underwriter as being the bad cop, and they're really not. What they are is they're a referee. They're a box checker. They're people that they have guidelines. They got to say, okay, if we've got this situation, here's the documentation. And there's not a lot of subjectivity to it. It's a very objective thing. On the other hand, the loan officer, though, is always the good cop. And I am the filter through which all of the facts need to come down. Sometimes there's things that I just don't need to know. I don't need to know that, that 6 months ago that somebody gave you a whole bunch of money and it's been sitting in your bank account, but you wanted to leave it sit there for that long until you used it for a down payment because you didn't want somebody checking your bank statements. Well, once it's been there for 60 days, it really doesn't matter where you got it from. Maybe I should know where you got it from, but if it's been there for 60 days, it's okay. But people, will confide in me, or I'll find out down the road that, oh, well, my earnest money check, I had cash and I purchased, a money order and I paid for my earnest money that way. Have that happen a lot. Big mistake, messes things up, tough to unwind that one, but there's ways to fix it, but it's better to know beforehand before somebody does that. Same thing. Some people say, oh, well, I'm in the process of fixing my credit. I'm like, oh, good, really? Tell me what you're doing. Very, very seldom are they ever doing anything that is really working. They're wasting money and they're wasting time, okay? Or you get other people that'll sit there and they'll apply for the loan, and during the course of the loan, they'll get laid off, and they just think that we won't find out. Yeah, we're going to check your employment right before we send the wire. So again, it's always good to just run everything through the filter of the good cop, or what I'm going to call myself is really going to be the coach. There are very few situations that you have that don't have a remedy. And the truth is that most people who are coming in to apply for a loan, at the time that they apply, for whatever reason, at that moment in time, they may not qualify. But you'd be amazed how many of those people within a matter of weeks or maybe even just a couple of months, can correct a couple of things, fix something on their credit report, a little bit more time on the job, clarify a few things, maybe file a back tax return. I mean, there's a variety of things that somebody can do to put themselves into good mortgage shape to do it. And your best chance of being able to do that is to know and trust that your loan officer, the person that you are meeting with on the front line, has your best interests in mind, because he knows what the guidelines are, he knows what the underwriter needs to see, and his job is to make sure that as that paperwork transitions from point A to point B, that the stuff that doesn't need to be there gets filtered out, and the stuff that you didn't think needs to be there gets to be added in, and that everything lines up and it makes for a good loan. And I really know that most of the time when I'm sitting down with people, they are responsible. They're going to make their house payment. And they just need to understand that, look, there's just certain ways that we've got to make this thing fit to make it work. And they're happy when they understand it and can get an explanation. So if that's the kind of consultation, the kind of treatment that you want to receive, push button, get mortgage professional. Thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com today. This is George Anderson, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day.